Rafa! Rafa! Tolga! Hey! Calma, calma! Hey, Rafa, come here, Rafa! Good, Jack. Hold on. Good, now you're... Shoot! Ya, bueno! Bien, 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 bien.
Luca, I guess just a quick turnaround for you guys heading to ZC. What does prep look like that, when you just come back from a trip and now have to go on the road again?
Obviously, it's a very quick turnaround. We just got back last night. Try and get the legs back to normal and as fresh as possible and prepare for today in training and regen for some players. But now we focus on DC away, which would be a good game and a tough opponent. And then our first away game in the MLS, so hopefully we can get 3 points there and then focus on next weekend's game.
Looking at the defense specifically, 3 shutouts to start the season, what does that maybe say about the work you guys put in the preseason, but also just the overall strength of the back line at the moment?
Yes, defense right now has been very good. Obviously 3 shutouts, but obviously a big shout out to Pedro in goal and making big saves for us. But yeah, our chemistry is very good. Like I said before, me and Robin have a very good connection on that left side and on and off the field, and obviously Mikey and Rodrigo have been very solid for us on the other side, so hopefully we can keep that going and keep that stretch going of 0 goals as much as we can.
What were expectations on this coming game against DC United?
Always our expectation is to go there and win, no matter what opponent we're going to or no matter what city we're going to go play in. Obviously, it being our first away game in the MLS this year, it could be a tough opponent, but obviously we're up for it and we're ready to go with the stretch of games that we're having. We have a good stretch of good players and a lot of depth going into these games, so we're just ready and prepared for Saturday.
Do you think these games back to back could affect the team performance, like physically going to Mexico? Also, the traveling could be an issue against this next opponent, this United.
Yes, for sure. Obviously, the traveling is a lot, and obviously a lot of games coming up in the next 2 weeks. But I think it could be good for us. I think we have a lot of players, a lot of depth in our squad, and a lot of our players are healthy. So with the quick turnaround of games, we have a good run of form going, and the boys are very confident and good mood. So I think it could be very good for us going into the next game.
How's been the adaptation with you in Coach Pareja systems? Sometimes he plays 4-4-2, sometimes he plays 3-5-2.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I've adapted quite well. It's been 3 months now, so gotten used to the city and used to the team and the players and the coaching staff and a different culture, obviously, than I was used to back in Toronto, but I'm enjoying it very much. I like it here a lot. Obviously, we play sometimes in a different formation, like you said, but whatever the coach wants me to play or whatever position he wants me to play, I'm ready to do it. Anywhere in a wing back or left back role, I'm always up for it.
The last 2 home games, there's been a lot of supporters going to chant for you guys. You guys talk in the locker room the expectations when you guys face home Tigres?
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a sold-out crowd. I've heard there might be a lot of Tigres fans as well in that stadium, so it'll definitely be exciting. But the past 2 home games have been quite the atmosphere, especially with that wall behind the net has been very fun to watch and play in front of, and them chanting us for the whole game.
In the TV, they say the Orlando City fans, they were loud, always chanting the 90 minutes. Will you guys be able to hear them like cheering for you guys?
Yes, for sure. We definitely hear them, especially in the first game, our home opener. Walking out into that stadium, I was quite a lot of goosebumps and a lot of adrenaline running into that stadium with a lot of fans and that wall. Like I said before, walking out of it, it was quite spectacular seeing that and seeing them chant for us for 90 minutes is amazing.
Mikey, congratulations on a terrific performance down in Mexico. What was working for you and this back line, and what's been working for these first 3 games where you guys having a lot of goal?
Yeah, we were just really focused, I think, to keep the shutout, which is good. I mean, to win games, you can't let the other team score. and so it's just good. Proud of me and my back line, and just keep going.
Juan gets traded on draft night. You have a chance to grab the starter's job. It looks like you've grabbed the reins early on here. How did you approach that competition and that idea going into training, and what do you think has helped you get to where you are right now?
Just being myself, going in and just earning it by working hard and just being confident. I've learned that just going in and playing my game and not worrying about what people say and just doing me, just it's helping.
You look at this kind of week of games. You obviously played in Mexico. You're now traveling to DC. How is the kind of management for yourself and for the team in terms of just keeping yourselves fresh for so many games coming up?
Definitely important to just focus on our recovery after these games and going in and getting massages and stuff and keeping hydrated, and they check everything to make sure we're doing well and just recovering properly.
How much do you have to balance just the want to play versus the coaches kind of want for you guys to kind of rest and recuperate, make sure you guys are fresh for the big game on Wednesday, but also I know you guys always want to play every game. How do you manage the difference between that?
Well, to be able to play good, you definitely have to recover well, and so it's definitely when after the games, the first priority is recovery, because if you're not recovered, then it's tough to play well.
How much did you learn from that experience in Mexico, just being able to play in front of 35,000 people, kind of hostile environment, to be able to kind of experience that for the first time? What did you kind of learn from that?
Yeah, it was different. It was good. Definitely opens up a whole new world in my eyes, because I've never been exposed to something like that with those kind of fans. Like the way they treat us and approach us is different, but it was fun. I liked it a lot.
How important is depth with this time of the year, being at the beginning of the year with a lot of games within this month? How important is the depth in the backfield?
It's huge, because obviously, like we were talking about, the recovery, so a lot of guys are going to be tired, so we need the bench players and the whole team just to come on together and just make an impact.
Sometimes you go all the way up and you by yourself on the right side, but the team decides to play short ball. Is because it's a lack of communication, the language barrier, or it's just Coach Pareja told you to go up just to so the other team can also follow you?
Yeah, I mean, it's both. Obviously, I go up and it opens spaces for everybody, because the defender keeps his eye on me, which is big, but I also do want the ball. I try to get the ball, which, I mean, it sucks when I don't get it, but I can't control that, and then I just got to make the effort back. But yeah, hopefully I can start getting those balls a little more, because that's what I want. That's the way I attack, and I'll hopefully get some assists like that. But yeah, no matter what, it does impact the game, because it opens the other team up.
How much do you have to balance just the ability of wanting to go forward, getting into the attack, versus just tracking back, especially against some stiffer competition who are quick and fast, and you have to really hustle to get back and defend, because ultimately that's your...
Yeah, it definitely depends on the opponent, because like this past game versus Tigres, he likes to stay, so I had to focus on defending more. Like if I go forward and they follow, then that's good, and then I can go forward more. But like last game, he stays and he focused mainly on attack, so I got to defender first. So. All right.
So you play with God on top, and you play with Ramin on top, and usually fullbacks go up across the ball. Is any particular who you rather to play when you cross the ball, Cara or Ramiro?
No, it doesn't matter to me. As long as they're getting there, as long as I'm getting there, it's the same difference.
Robin, congrats on a terrific performance down in Mexico. What was that like to go in there and come out with a shutout?
It was great. I think we had a good game. We played a smart game. When we didn't have the ball, everyone was working in the defense and did a great work. And then we were a little bit more like Orlando when we had the ball. We played a little bit more like we normally do, and kept the ball a little bit longer. So yeah, coming out of Mexico with a draw for the second leg with a clean sheet, I think a lot of teams would have taken that and then prepared for the second leg.
What's the approach with DC away and then Tigres home in such a massive game next Wednesday? We saw them some rotation against Cincinnati where you came in and played the second half. How do you guys approach that and make sure that everybody's good for Wednesday night?
The approach we have is that we're going to go to DC and get the 3 points. That's the first thing we have in our mind, and then we have Tigres after that. But the first main objective is to get 3 points against DC on the road. Right now we travel a lot and have a tight schedule, so I think manage the squad and have everyone being ready for being the next man up is very important, and we need everyone to get in there and get everything.
You mentioned the team played more like Orlando against Tigres. How do you continue that trend of playing more like Orlando as the season continues on, especially with the kind of struggles in the early part of the season for the first 2 games?
No, I mean I think it's just the connections that will come with time, because we changed a lot of players. It takes some time to build stuff and then to get the chemistry, and I started to feel in the Mexico game that we're starting to get in more and more. And then, I mean, the first game of the season was New York. They play with the very, very high pressure. Of course, sometimes you need to play the game smart and just try to make the things easy to get the 3 points. And sometimes we maybe will not look like Orlando, but sometimes we will. But sometimes it's just to go out there and see what you're facing, and then be smart after that. So I think we've been doing a great work on that early on the season, and trying to build and be even better on that part.
How has the kind of chemistry been with Luca? Obviously, having a new fullback kind of on your left side, playing with him a lot more often. How has just that chemistry been, and how have you kind of learned to work off of each other?
No, I mean, he's a great guy and a good soccer player. So it's also with the chemistry. We need to get the connection, and it takes time. But the preseason has been good. He's been very good in the preseason, and then continue into the games here in the start of the season. So it's also a learning path for him to come to a new club with a new system and get integrated. So, but I'm happy to play next to Luca. I think we will continue and grow in together and be a great part on the left flank.